Hey guys, and welcome back to the Behind the Play podcast brought to you by 1IQ Sports. That's DJ. I'm Will. And it's been a little bit. It's not been that long. It's been like a week and a half. The
For
Jays
us,
had
it's fine.
3 series in between. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Eh,
You know,
mediocre.
they came out on top in the end. Yeah, they took 2 out of 3 from Arizona. Vibes were immaculate. Then they got shit kicked by Chicago, and the vibes were not immaculate. Then they fucking put Cleveland on a leash and walked them like a dog. And now the vibes are immaculate again. I mean, here we are. I mean, they're 43 and 37, 42 and 37. 2 games up in the wild card, 2 behind Tampa Bay, 3 back in the AL East. With a huge fucking series next week or this week coming up, in the realm of podcast week, the next time we talk, they will have finished a 4-game set against the Yankees. That is the bigger series of the two. Like, we got Boston, we got New York. And honestly, it's October. It's October. It's October, especially that Yankee series. That Yankee series is going to be October ball, man. That is October. Canada Day, Max Fried, Kevin Gausman. That's game 1 of the ALCS. Like,
I mean,
that's nuts.
Big.
And, I mean, theoretically, it's a Barrios, but, unless they get someone. But, that's nuts. It's going to be 40,000 plus, maybe 41, 42. I don't know how many people in Rogers Center anymore. It's going to be nuts. That place is going to be rocking. That whole week should be rocking. Really. That really should be. Monday. Monday. No, who's working on Monday? No one's working on Monday. And it's an evening game.
Tuesday.
No. I'm saying Monday.
Wait.
Evening game right before the Tuesday long weekend with the Saturday or whatever. Some people are making an extra long weekend. I don't know what people are doing.
Yeah.
Monday night should be packed. Max Scherzer returns home. Then you got game 2 against the Yankees. Then you're going to get game 3 where it's Barrios against someone. And then you got Bassett. I think it's versus Schmidt for game 4. That's the division, baby. This series genuinely could decide the division. When we look back at it in September, October, we can look back. We potentially could be looking back at this 4-game set as hey, yeah, man, that was the division.
Well, I think there's a couple things to take from it. I think it shows you where you're at compared to the competition going into the All-Star break. Comparing the two teams, what we need to do in the trade deadline, it changes everything. And then 2 is right after the All-Star break, we have a 3-game set against them after the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be playing them 7 games in the next month. Or over the next 3 weeks.
Shaping up to be fun. I will say,
yeah,
I think expectations going in for me, just with health for that. We'll come back to this series. I just want to temper expectations. We don't have Santander. He's not there. Varsho isn't going to be there. We'll have Garcia back. That's huge. But the Jays lineup isn't shooting 100% of their guys, So I think that tempers your expectations a little bit. That being said, I think 2 out of 4 is what I'd be aiming for. If you split with the Yankees, no harm, no foul. You don't win it, but you don't lose it. But you're okay, unhealthy, we can swim with these dudes. So imagine healthy, we could sink them. So I think you got to look 2 out of 4. But first, we got to go to Boston. We're shipping up to Boston for the final time this year, I think. Should be. I think the next time they face the Red Sox is Toronto at the end of the year.
That's crazy.
So this is huge. They skip Garrett Crochet. Massive. No Garrett Crochet is nuts. It's Brian Bayo. It's Lucas Giolito, and it's Walker Buehler. There's 3 pitching
Easy.
matchups in there that should all favor the Jays. The only one that you can go 50-50 on, I think, is Barrios versus Bayo. But I like the Jays' opportunities at winning games better than I like the Red Sox opportunity of winning games, you know?
Yeah.
So there's that. It's also our first look at Boston without Devers. And they are about as cold as the fucking Titanic is at the bottom of the ocean.
Listen, I think it's always going to be competitive against Boston, but
Oh, yeah, no, it ain't
Devers
gonna be.
killed the Jays.
Like, I'm not expecting, like, the 2022 series where we, like, made them our little brother. But, like, the expectation I have for this series is fucking moon high.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those series, like, coming off of a pretty good June, like a great June, actually. I can't even say pretty good June. We need to beat AL East teams right now, and Boston's one of those teams going into the trade deadline that they're pretty depleted right now, and they don't know what their identity is. So it's
There's
like,
also no Bregman. Like, Bregman's hurt.
exactly, they're very depleted right now.
Obviously, Chapman's like nails at the end, but that's expected. Their offense isn't firing on all cylinders. Like, they look like they're missing someone. I don't know who that would be. Like, I possibly couldn't put my fucking finger on who it is what change it is that really shifted this team's offense. I could not tell you for the life of me who was moved that led to this team going from all right to but they're not firing, man. Roman Anthony isn't firing, so he'll hit 3 home runs. Marcelo Meyer isn't doing much right now for them. I couldn't even tell you what Trevor Story's doing. Could not tell you. Jarren Duran's always a pain in the ass. Like, he's going to be on, 4 or 5 times this series, and he's going to be swiping a bag or two and, like, scoring on plays he shouldn't be scoring on, and probably stealing a hit or two. That's the only guy, like, this is going to come back to bite me. That's the only guy I look at this Red Sox team right now that's going to play every day where I'm like, and even he's not playing up to expectations. He's just grindy and a pain in the ass, like he just does everything right. And it's so annoying when you play against him, but so fun to watch.
Yeah, there's a couple things. So I have not seen Boston play since the first series they played without Devers. I don't know how they're doing. I know they won a couple games in a row.
They got swept by LA. Like the Angels. Like,
damn.
They're not scoring runs. Like, right? Like, that's their big thing right now. They were scoring runs. Then they made a trade involving their lineup, and now they're not scoring runs. And no one can figure out why that is. But their bullpen collapsed 2 games against the Angels, too. And then Kikuchi just shut the door on them, which was,
That's great. That's great. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do, to be honest. It's so weird. Obviously, we've talked about this. It's so weird trading your number 1 guy that you think is like a franchise tag. So I don't even know what the fuck they're going to do.
We've always kind of described Boston as like streaky.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, is going to be even more kind of highlighted right now because I think Devers, I know Devers won them a few games. So, like, you're like, how the fuck did they do that? And now that's not there. So, like, those, 5 or 6 game losing streaks where you look back and you're like, man, that could have been 8 if it wasn't for Devers. Those are going to turn into 8 game losing streaks. So it's going to be interesting to see. Again, I think knowing the Jays luck, they'll drop game 1 against Bayo, or they'll get fucking walked by Buehler on Sunday. One of the two. But you got to win this series. It's a mandatory. You can't lose this series to Boston. You lose this series to Boston, don't even show up in Toronto against the Yankees. Don't.
It feels like a Blue Jays thing. Like, we caught like a hot streak there for a second, and we're still like on good pace because we smoothed it out near the back end here in Cleveland. But it feels like a Blue Jays thing to do to lose 2 to Boston and beat the Yankees 3 out of 4.
Yeah, it does. But
it's annoying.
That's not the way it's gonna be. the Jays have done a really good job of becoming a good team. You know, they've taken
What's that
themselves
trying
out
to do?
of, ooh, what are they going to do to like, this is a good team. Like, you know, they're in wild card talks. They're winning series. Now they got to like find a way to become the next level where, you know, you look at this Cleveland series. This Cleveland series at the end of the day should have been a 3-game wipe. Like that should have been a wipe. They gave a game back to Cleveland, game 2. That they should have won that game. Then that's what the Jays got to do now is, you know, win that game where you're like, that should have been ours, and turn those 2-game series wins, like 2 out of 3, into 3 out of 3, or, you know, 3 out of 4. Or 4 out of 4.
Or
Fuck it.
stop getting sweep out of nowhere.
Yeah, stop doing the sweep then swept.
Yeah, that's kind of frustrating.
But yeah.
This team is very, very odd in the sense that sometimes they just don't wake up.
They're
And either
consistently
offensively-
inconsistent.
Yeah, it's terrifying. Which I think means we're just a few pieces away from being a solid team. Like, I don't know if we're quite there yet for me, but
We
I
aren't-
think we're a few pieces
We
away
aren't a
from-
division winner. Like, if you were to tell me the roster today, with the injuries they have, I wouldn't look at them and go, yeah, that's the team that's going to win the division. But if you tell me, hey, that team with injuries is still fighting for the division, and then you go,
Yeah.
well, a healthy Santander could show up in August. Probably unlikely. You know, he's probably a September guy now. A Varsho's going to show up by like the All-Star break or right after the All-Star break. Then you're like, okay, you know, this team could do something if they add, you know, even if it's a rental bat to replace Santander for the year, and then like a pitcher or two. Then you're chilling. Like, really, there's 3 needs on this team. Or not 3 needs, sorry. 3 spots that, like, all they need to do is get 3 guys. Which is a lot better than other teams. Some guys have to get 8, you know, to be 500.
To be honest, we're in a position where I didn't expect to be in right now.
Oh, yeah,
When
no,
we
I
talk
totally
about-
expected to be talking about this, going, fuck, we have to play the Red Sox and the Yankees. Here's going to be like 1 out of, you know, we're going to win 2 games. And now it's like, dude, if we lose 3, I'm going to hurt myself. Like,
in Minecraft, yeah.
yeah. In Roblox, I'm going to, yeah. No, it's, I don't know. I really look at this Red Sox series like, if you are who you say you are, and you're a division champ, like a division team,
Yeah.
you go into Boston, you fucking embarrass them in front of their home fans. You take all 3, you ride a 4-game win streak back home for a 4-game monumental series against the Yankees.
Mhm.
And then all you have to do is split. If you split that series against the Yankees after sweeping the Red Sox, the vibe is still there. You're like, okay, well, we didn't really move in the ground, but like, you know, like the casual and go, oh, I'm going to beat the Yankees. But like, if you're like an actual fan and you look at it and you go, okay, a 75% healthy Blue Jays team just swam with like a 93% healthy Yankees team.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, like this team could be there. The next challenge is the Rays when we eventually see them again, which is until September, twice in a week and a half.
The Rays could easily fall off too. It's one of those teams I don't trust to be good for that long, but at the same time, they're kind of just, I don't know, they're
so
kind of like the
annoying.
Cardinals in my opinion. Yeah.
They're so
Very
annoying.
They'll
Yeah.
always be annoying to the Jays. Even if they're the fucking bottom feeder of the whole league, they'll just find a way to beat us or make it close.
For the Jays right now, heading into Boston, we are 3 games back of the Yankees. We have a 2-game lead on the Mariners. The Mariners are the 6th team, that final wildcard team. The Jays are 2 up on them, and then the Rays are 2 up on us. I think we're 3 up on. It's like a combo, like Cleveland, LA, and then Boston's 4.5 back of us, I think, or 5.5.
I could check it.
Boston's a little further back. So like it's a big time. I think the city's gonna be a little rockish, a little rocky, a little bit of fun in Toronto this summer, but it really just does depend on taking 5 out of 7. Like that is the number at the end of the day.
Yeah.
If you can go 5-2 in this 7-game stretch, you're legit for the year. Like you are a legit team.
I agree. It's the first time like people should be watching
Yeah.
every game.
I'm telling
Before
people,
going
I'm
through.
like, hop on the Jays bandwagon before it's too late. Like I am seated for every pitch. Dude, I'm you don't understand. I'm golfing during this Jays Yankees game, and I'm going to be watching it the entire time.
Oh yeah, I got the illegal streams going everywhere.
Yeah, like even if I'm not watching it, like everything, I will be consistently checking in on it. But like I am seated 3 out of the 4 games this Yankee series. There's no if, ands, or buts. It's happening.
Yeah, I've been bumping, like I said, the illegal streams everywhere I go.
I'm scoreboard
telling
watching.
anybody.
I can't believe I'm saying this in June. I'm scoreboard watching. I am checking in on what Cleveland's doing. Not anymore. Fuck Cleveland. I'm checking in on what Seattle's doing. I'm checking in on Tampa Bay. And let me tell you, that sucks. And I'm checking in on the Yankees. That's been a little bit more fun. There is nothing more draining than checking the score thing and seeing Tampa Bay's playing fucking Kansas City and it's 6-0 every inning. You're like, can we have one? One game.
I'm not there yet. I'm not like watching the AL East
I'm
yet.
so far in. I am
I'm not.
so far in. And then I like to do a little victory dance on the Orioles every time I look at it. They were being no-hit twice into the 7th inning against the Rangers, and I was like, that used to be
Yeah.
us. Now it's not. Right now.
Okay. That's the point. I'm gonna see where we're gonna end up, and after the trade deadline, then I'll be locked. Because then you really understand where teams are and what they're doing.
I do want to float names. Some of these names, again, this is for bats, only for bats, before we start looking at this Yankee series.
Okay.
I've locked the position. I know the position.
Ooh.
Well, like, sort of. It's left field, like a guy who's going to play left field 95% of the time. Springer DHs the rest of the way. His numbers when he only hits, fucking insane. That sounds stupid when I say it like that. His numbers when he's only the designated hitter and when like he doesn't have to go out in the field are nuts. Like we're talking like, high 8 to low 9 ERA. Like we're talking like, or not ERA, OPS. Or like 8.9 to like 9.1 is where he's sitting when he's a DH. I think he's like a 7.9 when he is a right fielder. So to me, he DHs the rest of the way, and you tell Santander, you can sit this one out, buddy. We got Springer. You go and you get a corner outfielder. Barger assumingly plays right field most of the time, and deservedly so. You look at a left fielder. Randall Grichuk is wild to be throwing his name around. That dude mashes lefties.
Only lefties.
And he's a Yankee killer, dude. His numbers against the Yankees are insane. So you get him in here, even if it's one series against the Yankees. Who gives a fuck? You get him in here. This is a guy who knows Toronto. The fans know him. You tell him straight up, like, hey, you're going to platoon. We're going to have Clase hit strictly lefty against these righties. And when there's a lefty on the hill, you're going to hit. Or like, hey, maybe we'll just give you the keys. Or you look at his teammate and you go, Gurriel Jr. And I floated this to you not a couple weeks ago when Arizona was here. Gurriel Jr. has a club option at the end of the year, I believe. It's an option of some sort. And I don't think it gets picked up. If it's club option. If it's club option, I don't think it gets picked up. If it's player option, yes, he'll pick it up. But I don't think they'll pick it up club option. It's like a $14 million option. So like you're looking at a potential potential rental there, you know? And you can, again, guy who knows Toronto, the fans love him, still love him. His defense is, you know, I don't miss seeing that, but you can't deny lower end of the batting order bat. Like that dude is
6,
legit.
7.
If you got
Yeah.
Gurriel hitting 6th or 7th and he's hitting 260 even, 250 putting with like 8 or 9 long balls, you know, post trade deadline, which is like 4 a month. That's a good deal. You've made a good deal. Everyone is going to be like, oh, you can get another proof that we lost young Barjo trade. And you can shut the fuck up. That's almost that is a huge reason, like, maybe we don't make that trade because I don't want to listen to it on Twitter. But, like, it helps. It makes the team better. And then you got, you funny enough, get an outfield of, like, Gurriel Jr., who's, like, potentially the worst defensive outfielder, standing next to Dalton Varsho, who is, you know, probably the second best defensive outfielder right now.
Yeah, one healthy, absolutely, yeah.
And then you got Addison Barger. Then you got the two guys with cannons, Gurriel and Barger with absolute cannons, dude. Their arm is nuts. I think that's the one I lean to. But like, if you want to go platoon and play your matchups and whatever, and be the Rays or the A's, Randall Grichuk makes sense. Cheap, like $4 million a year, rental bat, checks the boxes, can hit for power. Probably isn't going to do that anymore, but did at one point. And he will ground into a double play for you when you need
it. We already got enough of that.
But I do think, like, those two names, Kyle Stowers is another one, but, like, that's going to be expensive to get. I know a lot of people have been throwing around the name Dane Myers. I don't see that one happening.
Yeah.
It'd be sick. I just don't see it happening. And then other than that, like, you really, you know, it's really just going to depend on, like, who's doing what. Like, Cedric Mullins is his name, but, like, are the Orioles going to trade within their division? Probably not. And then you don't really know. Like, there's so many fringe teams. Like, it's hard to say who's going to do what in any time. Because, like, last week we were talking about the Red Sox being wildcard teams, and now they're like, well, they could sell again, you know, after selling Devers. So it's just kind of one of those things you don't really know what's going to happen until July. I don't think there's going to be, I would say the first 3 quarters of July is going to be just so, and then like the 29th, the 30th, and the 31st, where it should be like, you know, bang, bang, bang. It's going to be nuts.
I mean, okay, here's my thing. We've obviously been disappointed in the past at deadlines, and we're still under the same management, pretty much. It's, my thing is, like, are they willing to go all out? Not all out, but are they willing to, you know, add what's necessary to this team, or are they going to? I
like,
don't know.
on a
I've
contract,
seen them.
but like on a contract year, you know, like this is
I know.
Atkins' final hurrah.
For him, yes, I feel like that is the number one thing pushing me towards, like, he needs to get this done. Like, he has no, but like, man, I don't know. There's something about him that just screams like inactivity at the wrong moment. And I just like, it's probably PTSD.
I know where you're coming from, because we had high expectations for 2023 and we got fucking Paul DeYoung.
Yeah. So it's like, I do hope that the shotgun held up to his head, you know, gets him to do something. But in the back of my head, I just don't want to get my hopes up, because obviously we're having a great year in terms of expectations and what has been done. But at the same time, the window has gotten so much bigger that it's like, to what extent are they going to pull the trigger?
I don't think. I mean, we can continue with trade talks for a bit. Fuck the Yankees for a minute. We'll go back to them. I don't think we see a 2015 deadline. Like, we're not bringing in 3 All-Stars. You know, like,
Right.
we aren't bringing in David Price, Troy Tulowitzki, along with like a Mark Lowe and a Ben Revere. You know, like that.
Right.
That's not going to happen. But I think, like, I wouldn't be shocked. Is a better way to say it. If we see a 2021 like trade deadline where we go get like a big name arm or like one big name guy and then like a couple fillers, you know? So it was like, when I look at 2021, like the trade, you know, it's like Jose Barrios. Then it was like Adam Simberg, Corey Dickerson, Brad Hand, Joakim Soria,
Yeah.
That was kind of it, really, like notable things that we kind of did.
Right.
I could see something like that where it's like you get like a young controllable air pitcher, a rental bat, and then like an arm, not named Brad fucking Hand.
On paper, that's what we need to do. I think it's pretty, like, I want to say self-explanatory. Like, it shouldn't be hard to scope out what needs to be done. Like I said, it's just like whether or not it will be done, and I'm not going to get my hopes up and watch the clock tick down on the last day, and we've done one thing somehow.
To me, my perfect trade deadline,
Mm.
and I'm really throwing this one out there because I haven't really thought about this, and maybe it'll change. But today,
Yeah.
if you were to tell me on August 1st that the Jays went out and acquired these three guys, and it didn't require giving up one of Namala, Savage, Johnny King, I think I can look at it and go, okay, this is a good deal. This was a good deadline. I think you look at a guy like Edward Cabrera to bring in. Dude's got ace potential. You figure out his fastball, whether it's a four seam or a sinker, gets it. So there's a little bit of a project there. But I mean, like, this is a dude who has ace potential,
Yeah.
Then I look at a guy like, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. or Randall Grichuk as like, one of the bats. And then like a Kyle Finnegan or like a Ben Joyce in the bullpen. I'd lean Kyle Finnegan personally. But like that, if you were to tell me like at the end of the deadline, it was like Cabrera, Grichuk, Finnegan, I'd be like, okay, we go.
Yeah, it's
Like that's a
understandable.
really good deadline.
Right. You fill in the gaps. That's all we have
Exactly.
to do. Yeah. I mean, yeah, no, in a perfect world, that's fucking all we need. We don't need three all-stars or
Yeah.
not even an all-star. Like,
Yeah.
it's really that simple.
And then you like platoon Lukes and Grichuk together.
Mhm.
I would say you send Rodon down. Well, I mean, Varsho would be up by this point, so Rodon's probably down. Then like I don't know, maybe Clause's in a move in one of these moves or something. Like maybe you flip him to like get a prospect or two, like a depth guy, and
Yeah.
then you just kind of chill. Then you like your rotation's gonna be Barrios,
Mhm.
Gosman, Bassett, Scherzer, Lauer, and maybe you roll a 6-man. You roll Edward Cabrera in there. What is the worst thing with a 6-man? Especially when you look at like Lauer and Scherzer, like those guys theoretically are
And
limited to about 6 innings. Like that's their limit. What is the
yeah.
issue with giving Edward Cabrera, even if he goes 5 innings? You're giving everyone else another day of rest, especially a guy like Scherzer, who, let's be real, at gunk age he's going to need it. Gives Gosman a little extra breather. Barrios gets another breather. Bassett's got another breather. These guys are a little bit more rested when it comes to the playoffs. And then you can kind of go from there,
Yeah. I mean, shout out to Lowry. He's been a dog and he's really helped the bullpen and some other arms get some rest because he's like it started out to be like obviously at the start it was like 3 or 4 innings and then you weren't sure if he was gonna like go deeper. But he's really like he's been straight up dealing
He's been
and
what they
forcing
needed, man.
through. Oh man, it's been perfect. Scherzer looked hittable. First came back. I'm not gonna look too into
Nah,
it.
I don't really.
Uh,
He got out of it when he needed to. He looked just rusty and jittery, as I expected. I think the next game is going to be a little bit more telling. Like his fastball still looked nasty. Like 94, 95 from 89-year-old Max Scherzer is insane.
I think the number one thing for me that was a little worrisome is like he's like, this isn't gonna go away. I've never dealt with this, but I just have to learn how to deal with it.
And then
I
it went
see him
away.
like say some shit. Yeah, but like I don't want him to be like I don't know fighting an issue that is going to be a normal thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's why you got another starter.
Exactly.
I have come bringing 2 more trade names for you.
Perfect.
So let's go right into them. First one is a rental in Tyler Molly with Texas. Not like, I don't know, not one of my favorite ones, but like, dude's, you can't deny that dude's
It's
having a good year.
realistic. Yeah, it's
Going to
realistic.
Texas, I got Adam Macco and Joey Loperfido. I feel like that's a pretty fair package. Molly's a rental. He's going to be your like fifth or sixth, whatever. Dude's going to be nasty. He'll eat innings for you, and then we'll figure it out from there. The other one I have is Edward Cabrera. Ha 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 ha. Will just mentioned his name. Dude is nasty. I genuinely, I really like him. Going the other way, I have Jake Bloss, Elvis Martinez, and Adam Kloffenstein. You can argue that maybe Ricky Tiedemann should be in there over Jake Bloss. 100%. I totally get you. I'd counter back with the fact that Edward Cabrera is in his third or fourth year of Major League Baseball, and he still has a career 4 ERA.
I mean,
That's more on the
yeah,
Marlins' just inability to fucking like really help anyone when they struggle, more than anything.
if you can get Bloss out here over Tiedemann, like do it any day of the
Oh
week.
yeah,
I mean, we'll take that for sure.
and then you get a guy
But yeah,
like
no,
Edward Cabrera coming in here, nasty. Those are my two moves. We'll bring in two more moves I have next week and the week after that. And then it's going to get really a lot more challenging because names are going to keep going on and off, on and off, on and off.
or maybe one of your trades happens.
Yeah, who knows? I did have a fun name in there that I thought could be interesting because I think he's going to get like a year or two left on his contract, like after this year, which I thought would be funny. But this team's now competitive, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to throw this name out there. This is who I had beforehand, before all these moves got made. This team was kind of idling. Now they're like looking like division contender, so obviously this trade would never happen. But like when I first made this list at like the beginning of May, I had
Yeah.
Robbie Ray on there as like that would be fun. Like having a really good year, maybe the Giants want to get out of some of that money. The Giants weren't really doing much. Like they were really sitting like 2 games over, 3 games under, 1 game over, 2 games under, 3 games over, 1 game under. And they were really like
Yeah.
just middling. And then they kind of turned it on. They had Rafael Devers, and I was like, that trade's never going to happen now. But I wanted to throw it out there as like that was like an interesting one that I thought about. But then I realized that like there's San Francisco's just not going to sell now, so there was no point in even entertaining it. So I don't even know what a package would be, nor do I care anymore because it'd be pretty cool to see San Francisco win the division over the Dodgers.
I mean, yeah, there's literally a 99.99% chance that never happens because I mean
No, 100%.
he's been there.
The reason I almost like I didn't want to talk about it, but I was like it'd be fun to, was just because like I don't like when the most annoying thing as a Jays fan is seeing all these fans go, oh, they're gonna trade for Bob. Yeah, no, the fuck you're not. So I didn't want to be like, we're gonna trade for Robbie Ray. I don't think we're trading for Robbie Ray. But at the beginning of May, it was a possibility because the Giants were idling. The Giants aren't idling. It's not a possibility. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, their team is totally, in terms of identity and what they want to do, totally different
oh yeah.
compared to what they were even a month ago. So I don't even blame
I
you.
think they're going to be the most fun team to watch at the deadline, man. Why stop now? Go get another. Could you imagine? Okay, I'm sidetracked here, but could you imagine if like they went out and got like, I don't know, even if it was Sandy Alcantara? Yeah, I get he's not having a great year, or they like went out and they pulled the Edward Cabrera trade off, right? Or God knows what else. Maybe they took a starter from the Mariners, like maybe they got Luis Castillo or something for like a heavy hitter, like a Bryce Eldridge going the other way. And you're like looking at it, it's like, man, they created a 3-headed monster. They got a really good offense. San Francisco's nasty. They're sneaky nasty, but I think they could be a lot of fun to watch at the deadline, personally.
I think their team is made up of like they're just really solid. They seem like an October team to me, even if they don't win the division.
They're a team not built for the sprint, or built for the marathon, sorry, but built for the sprint. Like what the Phillies were in 22 or the Diamondbacks were in 23, where it's like they're just going to, they thrive in the short and quick series. Short and quick, as if it isn't best 4 to 7 and like the longest series you play in a season.
Jaron Duran. Okay, I was hearing things that he could be moved. just imagine in an alternate universe where
He
he
goes to San
goes
Francisco.
to two, like at the deadline. Like imagine Duran and
Duran and
yeah.
Devers. I wouldn't be shocked. I do think like he goes to Atlanta though over that.
I mean, if Boston really wants to give up or like give up and
Yeah, I
do
mean, if Duran's available,
draft
if I'm the
growth,
Jays, I'd be looking at that.
for sure. I
Love
mean,
Duran.
we've seen the potential of him. He's having an off year, but if they're selling and doing this weird rebuild half thing, like why
Oh yeah,
wouldn't everybody look at him? He's like a 30-30 guy. He could give you
I'd even look at
so much in
Chapman,
the
man. I'd be
outfield.
like, hey, I get it, dude's a dick, but he throws 105.
Yeah. No,
Uh,
exactly. You can't say no to that.
exactly. Okay, Yankees series. 4 against the
Mm.
Yankees. 8 it's at home. 1-day game, 3-night games. Unfortunately, we have to wear that red jersey. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's cursed, so we're
I
probably
like
not going to win Canada Day. 2 out of 4, I think, is a win. I think you got to really eyes turn to Vladdy immediately when I look at this, like Vladdy and Kirk and
Are you
Springer.
skipping over Boston?
No, we already discussed Boston.
I thought we kind of discussed both. Like we
I
kind
mean,
of
we can
yeah.
really discuss Boston, but like if you want to, like we can go real in depth for it.
No,
But
2 out of 3 is
2 out
mandatory.
of 3 it is mandatory. I think game 1 I'm looking for is Vladdy in the lineup after Cleveland thugged him twice.
Yeah.
Kirk continuing to shoot the ball the other way. Like Vladdy's really the only one like lineup wise like I'm watching.
Yeah.
Garcia has a rehab game Saturday or Sunday in Buffalo. That's more what I'm intrigued with, if I had to be really honest with you. Because if he
Yeah.
has a really good Sunday outing, he says he's gonna be active Monday. Like this was Garcia. He was saying that like after Sunday he wants to be in Toronto with the Jays. So
Yeah.
Garcia could be
I don't
back for
want
that series.
I don't want to rush him, but like he obviously wants to play the Yankees for a reason. I mean,
Dude's got the dog in him. Ow.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, oh.
but yeah, no, like I don't know. I go Yankees. I go Vladdy's got to be that. Like Vladdy's got to be him. You know, Vladdy got to be him. I think
Yeah.
this is the series where if the bottom of the order wins it for you, that's great. But it has to be the big boys. Like Bo has to be huge. Vladdy has to be him. Springer's got to be Springer. You know, Kirk's got to keep doing what he's doing. This is if Bo is a good series and like is out there, like this is his first real like series of like I want to fucking stay and I want to get paid, dude. Like if he hits, say he drives in 6 runs over 4 games with like 2 home runs, and
Yeah.
he's like just like wearing the city on his shoulder. That this could be like it could be one of those where like okay, here's Bo Bichette. You know,
Yeah.
this is a
One thing
series that like swings the season forever at the end of the day,
for sure. For sure. This whole
unless it doesn't.
I mean, looking forward, actually I'll go into that after. But I think for Bo Bichette, not even in terms of the Yankees series, I want to just like say he has been like very sneaky good with runners in scoring position. Like he leads the team in RBIs
I think he's
by
hitting
like 7.
404 or something, or
I think
406
he's
with runners
first
in
in the
scoring
AL.
position. Jacob Wilson's in front of him.
Oh, we passed him, huh?
Yeah.
Shit. Still, like really
Still really good.
impressive that he's driving in that many runs and he's not like I don't know. For a while there, he was kind of. You even texted me not too long ago. Feel like it was 2 weeks ago now, and you're like, "Bo's got 0 pop."
Yeah. No, that's
And
because
he
he
just started.
and then he hit back home runs. That was against that Arizona
Yeah.
series. The bases were loaded, and it was like a hanging curveball.
Yeah.
Like I thought he was perfect. He like dropped the bat, and I was like, "Yo, Bo just sent this one 500 feet, and it barely made it halfway to the left fielder."
Oh man, he's very hit or miss, but I feel like he's catching his
Ah,
stride and he's hitting at the right moment. Yes. Yes.
yes.
But going forward, what I was going to say is like, okay, this is a huge stretch, obviously. We want to win 3 of 4 from the Yankees, or like even 2 out of 4 is fine as long as we beat Boston. But if you look forward, you got the Angels, you got the White Sox, and you got the Athletics
It
before
gets a
the
little
All-Star
easier.
break.
That's why
A
I say
little.
2 out of 4. Well, hey, the White Sox owned us. But that's what I was saying. You sweep Boston. You take 2 out of 4 from the Yankees. Just win all you got to do is series win, series win, series win. You know?
Yeah.
And we're catching the Angels at a poor time. You know, like they're good right now. They're streaky and they're on their streak. But like maybe in a week they aren't on their streak. You know?
Yeah.
Um,
But on paper, they're easy teams.
yes,
We
on
should
paper,
beat if we want to be
the
competitive.
Jays should be beating the Angels, the White Sox, and the Athletics. Obviously, we can talk about them more in the next one.
Yeah.
My last thought on the Yankee series is, yes, it changes the outcome of the season forever, but like, you may not, like, we may really like say, we may not look back on the series and go, man, that changed the division. But 9 times out of 10, this will, even if it's not like physically seen right away. The momentum that each team will get after this series is going to be insane. If the Jays lose 3 out of 4, then you're like, oh, and you're kind of down on yourself, and you like maybe you make a bad play and it starts piling up, and then the Angels kind of start taking it to you. If you split, you're like, okay, we're feeling pretty good. You take 2 out of 3 from the Angels or something like that. If you win the series, God forbid, or even God help us all if the Jays swept. If the Jays sweep the Yankees, stay the fuck away from me, man. Stay away. I'm going to be the worst person to be around. But if you take 3 out of 4 from the Yankees or 4 out of 4 from the Yankees at home ahead of playing these 3 teams, dude, the momentum would be the Jays AL East winning odds would skyrocket. Skyrocket.
It changes everything for this team in every single way you can think of, in my opinion.
I don't think this is crazy to say. This is probably the biggest series the Jays have played in 3 years. This is bigger than any 2023 series. This is bigger than any series last year, and it's the biggest series of the season. The Jays haven't played in a series like this since probably 2022.
Yeah, and I'll go back to it. I mean, it's easy to forget, but we played them literally 1 week after the All-Star break. So
Back
if
in
we
Toronto, man.
sweep them, yeah, if we sweep them, or even like if we beat them 2 times in June, like 2 series wins in June, the season just flips on his head. Like,
It changes
completely.
everything. The vibes would be fucking immaculate if they swept. I don't think they sweep,
Yeah.
but like now it's starting to get there. I'm starting to get excited, so we got to wrap this. Just like, what if we just did?
I mean, yeah, no, July's a big month in general. This is the biggest series until the next one. That's kind of where I'm at. It's like,
No, yeah, I
see
mean,
how
we
this one
could
goes out?
very easily be looking at the end of July like, hey, this one's bigger than the last one. But right now, this
Exactly.
it's huge.
Right.
Because it really, like, we could close the gap on the East or we could expand it, And then that July series means
Exactly.
nothing. The July series means more if the Jays win 3 out of 4 or sweep than if they get swept or, even if they split 2 out of 2, then the next one's like, oh, like maybe they're 4 or 5 back. And then you're like, oh.
I mean, hey, we sweep Boston. Even if we win 1 against the Yankees, if we fucking wrecking ball the
if we
NL
lose 3 out of 4 to the Yankees, DJ, the things I would do to myself, I can't say. We are not losing 3. Don't even throw that juju out there. That is horrible to say.
If
no,
in an alternate universe, we sweep the Angels, we sweep the White Sox, and we sweep the Athletics, then we're fine.
Okay. I'd rather just beat the Yankees too.
Yeah, the Yankees are the number one. I mean, even if we sucked, I want to beat the Yankees. Like, beating the Yankees is
need it.
The best.
Yeah.
Let's beat Boston first, though.
Yes. Okay, we have 7 games this week.
Yeah.
Last week, we predicted some stuff. We didn't get it all right. Anywho, I want to give Eric Lauer Blues Jay of the week. I think that man deserves it. The dude's been the most stable thing in that rotation. He has jumped in with both feet, ready to take over. He has made it go from shit, we don't have more than 3 starters to like, oh, hey, it's Eric Lauer Cy Young time. So I want to give Eric Lauer Blue Jay of the Week, and if we don't want to give him Blue Jay of the Week, he at least deserves like honorable mention because that dude was nasty in 2
I
starts.
think we can give him Blue Jay of the Week in my opinion.
You want to give Kirk in there too?
No, honestly, sleepy pick here has been really good, batting over 400, I think, or over 300 at least. His average is above 300 now. Is Clement? He also went crazy.
Oh yeah,
against the
Ernie's a good
Guardians.
one too. Yeah.
He's been insane. So
Yeah. No, I'm
Clement.
cool with that. He
Kirk's
made a
been
cool
really good too.
couple really good defensive plays. I want to shout out Jimenez's really cool play that he made against Cleveland.
Yeah, that was great.
Cleveland
Holy
sucks. Fuck Cleveland.
Yeah.
Fuck Tanner Bybee. And yeah.
Shout out to Blue Jay.
Can't blaming Vladdy because you can't pitch up and in. DJ, you're not muted.
Holy shit. Good attempt.
Blaming Vladdy because you can't pitch up and in is it's quite the look. And honestly, if you're Tanner Bybee, you got to look at the fact that the Jays just put a leash around your neck and walked you like a fucking dog. So there's that.
To be honest, I don't know if you were watching, but we kind of got gifted 3 runs.
Yeah, that's because they can't play defense. That's not our fault. Take advantage. Give what teams give you, man. The Guardians gave us an inch, and we took a goddamn yard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think, okay, predictions this week. Let's just get into it. Predictions this week. We play 7 games, 3 against Boston, 4 against New York. Arguably the biggest stretch of our season. I've never been more excited for something in my freaking life when it comes to the Blue Jays this year. I can't wait. I genuinely don't know how I'm going to get through the week. Just sitting there waiting. So I'm going to get real fun and say 5-2.
It's like you stole it.
Say it, man. Say it with it. Say it with chest.
6-1. Fuck it.
Yeah.
6-1.
Let's go.
6-1.
You know what? Your Blue Jay of the Week, after he puts Boston down like an animal, he's going to come home. And he's going to show that he should have had another 0 behind that contract. It's Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
There you go. I'll go with Bo, because why not? Bo and Vladdy need to step up, so they better be really good.
Shout out. I think hard worker, grinder of the week will be
Ernie Clement again, I mean.
No.
In my opinion. Barger
Miles
could be
Straw
really good.
is going to be our hard worker of the week.
Yeah, I wanted to shout out Miles Straw. He's been really blowing my expectations out the water. He's been really solid with the bat. And in center field, he just floats. He literally is like one
He's
of the
gazelle.
best route runners. Yeah, it's great.
Awesome. Okay, well, we'll see you all next week when the Jays come back here after knocking around, hopefully, the Red Sox and the Yankees. And, I don't know, like, comment, subscribe if you guys are brand new to the channel, and we will catch you all in the next one when the Blue Jays are winners of both series in a row. Go Jays, go! Happy Canada Day!